Hello there, everybody. My name is Waddles. I hope you're doing well. Happy holidays, and also happy almost New Year. I hope your week has been going well. Welcome back to List Week. So, it's the holiday season, and I kind of figured maybe there'd be, quite a bit of new players around this time of the year. So, today we're going to go over 5 beginner tips or life hacks, I suppose, but they're really just early game tips. Now, if you're a more of a long-term player, you probably already know about a lot of these, so props to you. But if you're new, hopefully some or all of these will help you out quite a bit. So, of course, go down below and drop one more tip that you would give to a new player, and if you enjoy the video, leave a like and consider subscribing. And also, if you're looking to set up a server, use that fancy custom link I have in the description and code WADDLES for 25% off your first month with CubeToast. So, our first spot on the list. Of course, if you've been playing for a long time, you already know this, but once you have moved on to stone tools and you have these useless wooden tools, well, you can use these to smelt things up. So, let's say maybe you don't have any coal or anything like that. Technically, you could go ahead and make wood tools and smelt up, one piece of food if that's all you really have. Or maybe you just need 3 iron and you have your wooden tools and you're kind of done with them. Smelt them up. There's no, point or sense in keeping these wooden tools around. So just go ahead, put them to good use instead of letting them despawn or something like that. Now, of course, kind of tied in with this, don't forget about charcoal. If you're really hurting for coal, you can make charcoal by smelting wood with wood, and you'll get charcoal, and it's just as good as coal. Moving on to our second spot on our little list here. Wooden tools are really, really bad, guys. Like, don't make a whole set of wooden tools. It's just not worth it. What you're going to want to do is make a wooden pickaxe and a wooden sword just to be safe, and then go find stone. You can find stone pretty much anywhere. Dig down a little bit, or if you're lucky and you're by a mountain, just pull 11 stone off of the mountain, or 19 if you want to just make a furnace right away. But once you have 11 cobblestone, you can go ahead and make a full set of stone tools. So an axe, a pickaxe, a sword, a hoe, and a shovel. A wooden shovel, a wooden hoe, a wooden axe, they're just really not worth it. You can probably just kind of suck it up and punch a few trees with your hand and save the small amount of wood that you would need, but still, save your wood. Don't make a whole set of wooden tools because, then you're going to have to just use them for fuel or something weird like that. They're just really not worth it. Tip number 3 is kind of more Java Edition focused, but also not. So if you're on Java Edition, make one of these things. Like, I talk about them a lot because they're really, really good, but all it is one block of space. There's a hopper at the bottom, some water, and then a chest, of course, that hopper is going into. Now, once you start getting mobs in here, like you get a bunch of cows in here, eventually they will die on their own because there will be way too many in there, and you'll get food and leather. Now, alternatively, early game, don't pass up animals. Now, let's say I want to build my base like over there by the forest, and I found this cow. A good idea would be trapping this cow somehow. Now, the easiest way is going to be putting it in a 2-block deep, 2x2 hole. So the cow, can't go anywhere. Don't punch the cow, but after you've trapped the animal, remember where the animal is and then go do your thing. And once you have food, come back and bring the cow over to your base. Animals will despawn if they're left out in the open like this. So trap them and they shouldn't despawn. They should be good so long as they are safe. That means if you trap sheep in a forest in a hole and then wolf spawn, you will come back and find that your sheep has turned into a wolf, and it might make you sad. Moving right along to our 4th tip, which is a bedrock tip. I felt bad about putting a Java one, so now we have a bedrock one. Now, Tridents are really, really good, and on the bedrock edition of the game, they're really easy to get, but fighting drowned in deep oceans is definitely not a good idea. You can actually use really simple drowned mechanics, how they kind of lock onto you when you're in the water, to lure them all the way up to somewhere that's really safe, like over here, and then you can fight them over here and maybe get your hands on a trident early on really, really easily. Now, of course, you're going to have to get a little lucky and have the drowned actually drop a trident, but not only trident drowned, drop tridents in the Bedrock Edition. So you could just kill a random drowned and possibly get a trident. But don't do this without iron armor, because tridents are very, very strong. If you come over here without any armor on, you could get hit like twice and then die. So definitely get some iron armor. It's a little less early on, but if you can get your hands on a trident, then you're pretty much set, so long as you can keep that trident alive, meaning, you know, you don't break the trident. But there we go, we have a trident drowned, and if I just kind of jump in and out of the water, I mean, now that it's raining, it's going to be a little different, but we jump in and out of the water, you know, hit the drowned trident dude, and then get out of the water, and yeah, you know, you just kind of keep going back and forth like this, and eventually, you know, he'll die, and hopefully you get a trident. Pretty easy. And then finally, my fifth beginner tip or life hack, this one's more of a tip though, has to do with base making. Go into your world and have an idea as to what you want to do. Let's say you want to make a desert castle. If you want to make a desert castle, don't waste your time building some random house in a forest that you're going to live in until you can find a desert or you can, you know, kind of get started on your project. I recommend that you just head over to a desert and then make your starter house there and slowly start gathering up resources. And then once you feel ready, start your desert castle. Don't start building your castle right away. Make a starter house, something small and manageable. And again, gather up resources. If you jump into a project that's too big early on in your world, you're going to get burned out and demotivated, because more often than not, that project will probably end up feeling like a big chore eventually because you'll lose interest. If you just set up something small at first, if you start with something small and move towards something larger, you will feel a whole lot more connected to your world. And if you make a random house somewhere and then run really far from it, you're never going to come back to it. So just don't even bother. Don't waste your time. And so those are my 5 beginner tips or life hacks, kind of, in a way. Are you new to the game? If you are, welcome. And if you're not, you probably, hopefully, definitely knew all of these. But if you didn't, that is absolutely okay. My name is Waddles. Thank you very much for watching. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Go have a good day. Goodbye, everybody.